You're live.
Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage. Welcome to Entertainment is Dead. I am your host, Chuck Sweat. I am here with the regular crew. Got Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm on the internet.
We really like him. Got Steve. Steve's
That's
been
me.
in baby hiatus. Speaking
Yeah.
of baby, go ahead.
No, I'm not baby hiatus. I'm just easily distracted.
Fair enough. Mandy, also on baby hiatus.
I am. Hello, Internet.
How does it feel to have the baby out of you?
Oh my gosh, so nice.
Do you feel
Yeah.
like lighter? Like physically
Just a
lighter?
tiny bit. Yeah, I had a freaking 9-pounder, so, you know,
Oh,
Cool. That's like a bowling ball.
literally.
You
Yeah.
just glare at the baby sometimes, and you're like, I know what you did.
F me. Yes,
Uh,
seriously.
And this picture
this-
is her with a vampire. In case you guys are wondering, that's her with some vampire
Oh,
dude.
I don't have my tiger
Like
with
chummy.
the rockets anymore.
I couldn't find it. I looked forever.
What?
And
No,
so
it's-
now it's just you with a vampire.
It's a
Okay,
chummy
well,
looking vampire.
Is it Ian Somerhalder?
I don't know.
Better be.
the other
it's
one's going to
Stefan.
be at this Comic
It's
Con, by
it's
the
the
way.
younger of the two brothers.
Who's younger?
It's you with
That's
Stefan.
Aren't
Oh,
they?
dang it. I mean, Stefan's good, but
He's the younger brother, right?
Damon's the better one.
Yeah,
I did
Stefan.
meet Stefan at the last one, though. So.
That's why I think that's what that picture's from.
Oh, it is actually me with him. It's not just like a fake.
No, it's
Josh?
actually-
No, it's
your
an actual
picture.
photo.
Oh,
We
that's
stole it
perfect.
from the internet.
Perfect. That's wonderful.
Fun fact, you said you had a 9-pound baby.
I
I
did.
know this is really shocking to everyone here, but I was 11 pounds and like 12 ounces or something like that.
No,
were
you
11
are
pounds.
not. Are you
I
kidding
was.
me?
I thought,
And he was
Oh.
born with chest hair.
and a full beard.
And a full set of teeth.
Yeah,
Your poor mom. That's terrible. Oh my gosh.
yeah. I actually, there was a lot of so.
You fist
I'm
bumped the
actually,
doctor on your way out.
I'm actually adopted, and when I actually submitted a DNA test not too long ago, and there's a lot of jokes going around that I was actually half giant, and that my mom probably lives in a cave somewhere.
Your dad is
um,
Hagrid, actually.
Yes. So
Lance has all
and
these
then
stories she's not telling us about these like nonsensical creatures being brought home for training.
it's okay. They'll be fine. We'll be fine, guys.
We'll
We're
be
just gonna
fine.
bring home something that's gonna kill us.
It's
fine.
just a tiger. It'll
So
be
did-
okay.
It's fine. He has
By the
rockets
way-
on his feet.
By the
DNA
time-
result that you were human.
yes, I am actually human. And I am from France, as I was always told. I am from
We are
France.
from France.
They determined that from your
Hmm.
DNA.
Yes,
I think
Yeah.
the doctor was watching Coneheads and just wrote it down.
it's actually kind of cool. Like, it shows percentages of where you're from. Like, it'll show like you're West European, you're from this continent. Like, I don't know, title
is
Twitch.
Ancestry?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is ancestry.com. You can submit a DNA test. And it's kind of cool too because it actually, even though I don't know my direct heritage, it does show like people that I am related to and stuff like that. So like famous people, they're all LDS. Weird. It's funny that I'm Mormon or something, like I'm from Utah.
I don't
But,
want to see that. I'm from the South. I would just see, like, my aunt is also my cousin. Weird.
Steve's actually secretly black.
I don't
Part of me
think
is.
you can- I don't think you can
And
say
I'm
that.
leaving. So we're moving on. I am so happy to have Arthur back. I missed him so much. He's my cut brother.
Hey, buddy.
I'm so glad you were on the show tonight.
I'm glad to be on here.
Yay. All right. So what have you been up to?
Fucking finals.
Yay.
Little to no video gaming, which makes my soul hurt. So
Not yay.
yeah. So now I'm ready to be a real person again. Now that those are all over. So
There's a said trip that's coming up where I think that we need to bring some gaming system. I don't care if it's old school. I don't know what Jacob has at the cabin. Maybe he has like an old CRT or something. We could get Sega Genesis, get Mortal Kombat 1. Something like that. I don't know. We could play something terrible.
Does
So-
Mortal Kombat 1 have the DLC where you can just pay for the one button fatalities, or
No,
if
that
not,
was,
I'm not interested.
That didn't come out till Dreamcast. It was actually on
Okay.
And shortly after that, they actually banned mods on the Dreamcast and made it a violation of the terms of service.
So then you're just going to play Power Stone instead, which is way better.
Fun fact. All right, and that's a good lead into one of our topics tonight. So I'm going to tell everybody what we're going to gab about. So we want to talk about Age of Ultron a little bit. It's not really our thing, but I think everybody here has to say something about it.
And the review has to be 10 words or less from each person.
Bam! Tom is
Bam.
putting me on a time limit for it because I keep time limiting all his news items.
Also, my nose really itches way bad.
Just itch it.
Scratch it.
Just in front of everybody.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm tired. I had some coffee. We're gonna push through this here. So we want to talk about fighting game spamming, and then basically anybody who spams in any game that kind of breaks it. We're gonna talk about Fables. Mandy's been playing the new Fable. Fuck! I am fucking this up tonight.
Fable Legends. The beta.
Fable Legends. The beta.
On the internet.
On the interwebs. And Melancholy.
And the
We're
Infinite
also gonna talk
Sadness. Wait.
No.
Also on my list here, I have Shenanigans.
Oh yeah, there are shenanigans as well. It's a Melancholy Republic we are going to talk about briefly too.
Great. So, first and foremost, let's talk about Age of Ultron so we can get that out of the way.
Okay, can I go first?
I'm going to take my ears out. Are you going to be...
There
Are
will
you
be
talking spoilers?
Nope.
No.
10 word
Oh,
reviews.
I thought you'd seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay, here's my review.
I'm like
Okay.
the one person who hasn't in the world.
We'll give you thumbs up when we're done talking about it.
Okay.
She doesn't have, do you have
I don't
video?
have audio.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe send me a message on chat so I can know. I'm
I
going to
haven't
take my
seen the
ears
movie
out.
yet, so I don't have a good opinion.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just send it.
Lance, go.
Liked it. I mean, actually, Tom and I have been talking about the fact that I'm bored with everything superhero, and I'm irritated that everything superhero is any
33,
substantial.
37, 10 words or less.
I liked it.
40.
Okay, Arthur.
It was good movie. I like it. Vision number 1.
Vision number 1.
I love it.
Actually, that's funny that you said that because Hank I was talking to Hank tonight, and he's like, I really like this guy. And he didn't know his name, but he knew, he was like, I liked how he came out of this and blah, blah, blah. He was talking all about the Vision. And I was like, that's cool.
Your son's got good taste, man.
He does. I mean, shit. He's actually been asking me for this little guy for a while. He's like, Dad, I need the Hulk Buster or whatever. He called it something else again. Like, he doesn't get the names right. He calls it the Buster. That's what it is. He just thinks it's called Buster.
Isn't the Buster a gun in Mega Man? You got to cheese that
It
kid
is.
right, man.
That's what I was going to say, Tom. I'm glad you knew that.
Anyways.
Okay, Tom, your opinion.
It was a really good movie. Hank is a good kid. And the Scarlet Witch is way more powerful than they're letting on. Fear the Scarlet Witch.
Just like you should fear Jean Grey.
Mm-hmm.
Hated her outfit. They should have just put her in that, onesie leotard thing. Show everybody. Oh, that was sexist. Speaking of sexist, Joss Whedon quit Twitter. How great is that?
Not for being sexist.
Not for being sexist.
He quit Twitter after the first Avengers, too, for a few months. He's like, eh.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he
That's
doesn't
good
want to have
news.
his phone
Every
exploding
nerd-
with tweets.
Every nerd just needs to fucking calm down. Calm down.
Especially about the people who freaked out because Chris Evans said that, what's her name? Oh my gosh.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
Oh,
her character,
Widow.
the Black Widow, was a
Slut.
whore. It's like,
Oh,
All
whore,
right.
slut. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I can
she's
see, I think
made up, guys.
It's a harsh word, but I do
It
see
is,
that it's
but
overreaction.
I'm a
It's
girl,
cartoon.
and that's not offensive to me in the slightest because it's probably true. Her character probably goes back and forth between different guys and is probably being a bit of a slut. Like, it's just her character. Like, hooray!
Who
Don't be
cares?
offended. She's fake.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's pointing out the fact that Thor was in a pool of water with his shirt off, which, by the way, Brooke fell asleep during the movie because it was really late. And I mentioned to her, I said something about it on the ride home, and I said something about, oh man, when Thor was in that pool, and she's like, I missed Thor with his shirt off. She was like so pissed. So
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
I mean,
missed it twice.
it was great. I was enjoying it a
Great
lot.
game.
That's why I'm going to see it.
Eye candy.
Oh, is that what you said, Tom?
I know what you said.
He does have a Thor. He has a Thor on his desk at work. By the
I
way,
do have a big old Thor.
so yeah,
So Vision's in it, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways,
Hey, no more
Hey,
spoils. No
so
more
that
spoils.
totally took about 10 minutes. Great.
Good job, Lance. Way to moderate it.
All right, moving on. So I saw something really cool on the internet this week, and it made me happy because I played fighting games on the internet. I played a lot of Fight Night, and at one point in time, I decided to take my skills on the interwebs and play some people. This was Fight Night Round 4, and there were tons of people that were just on there that had. I didn't really look too deep into it. It just pissed me off, and I quit. I couldn't play online because people come in there and just do jabs, jab, 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 until they won, or haymakers. They throw one thing the whole time, and I did everything I could to try and avoid this, but EA made a broken online game, and that kind of stuff just makes me so pissed. People break online games because they don't have any skill. They don't take the time to learn the characters. They don't take the time to learn the game. And I saw this really cool Mortal Kombat video. We should link it on the YouTube so people can see it. If you haven't seen it, it makes me really happy in my heart because fuck people that just spam shit. It's annoying.
And basically, what's going on is Jackie Briggs players online are just spamming her down. Is it down back 2, Steve?
I think it's back forward too.
Back forward 2. Basically, it's her autocannon, right? Her machine gun. So if you spam it, you can zone. It's a pretty hard zone, but you can definitely get past it. And so it's kind of a mixed thing because there's a whole rage thing going on of people bitching about spammers. And then there's this whole other side of it where this video was amazing because the reptile player basically ducks under, slowly inches forward, and unleashes like the most incredible combos on this Jackie Briggs player. It was pretty rad. It was pretty great.
His combos aren't even great. They're decent, but they're totally blockable. Like, if that Jackie player knew how to duck and block, it wouldn't have... Reptile would have been...
Yeah, he had no setups. He was just running up and hitting buttons, but there was no blocking happening, which is fucking awesome.
I find it interesting that your guys' opinion on it because I'm kind of in the Viper's nest right now because I am totally the cheesiest fighter.
But that's
sweep,
fine.
sweep.
Well,
I just sweep the leg.
Well, and that's my
think
John had
point.
sweep the leg.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between like we're all going to somebody's house, we're sitting there, everybody knows that I have no skill when it comes to fighting games. In fact, Steve challenged me. I'm like, sure, kick my ass at this game because like I don't play those games, and as long as there's like some knowledge of that, I don't think it's that offensive. Tom, I mean, you play a lot of fighting
I'm the
games.
other side of it. I'm a believer. I'm with Arthur. So my thoughts are, if you can't deal with it, it's your problem, not the person doing it. If somebody's sweeping the leg constantly and you can't handle it, then that's on you. Especially because most of the stuff like that is something you can deal with. If somebody is like, if I lose a match in Street Fighter and all the guy's doing is jump fierce and sweep, jump fierce sweep, and I'm not dealing with that, that's my bad because any of those moves are either going to be super punishable. The only time I would say that it's not on you is if it's something where the game is actually broken. Like the Jackie Briggs thing isn't broken. You can get past it. And when they did Omega mode of Street Fighter, there was an infinite loop you could do with Gen where you basically would just mash light kick and it would do chip damage, and it would, in a block string, it would be infinite. Your character would be locked in block and you could not get out of it, and they could beat you, they could kill you. That's broken, right? Because there's nothing
mechanics.
It is literally nothing you can do about it. With the Jackie Briggs thing, it's hard. I mean, you have to duck, walk forward, duck, hope you guess their timing, jump in at the right time, but there is something that can be done about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm glad to see. You know what I was hoping for at the end of it is that the game would actually break the player too. Like I was hoping that it would get to the end and say like spamality or something like that.
So here's what I think is the biggest problem, at least with Mortal Kombat, is like the most recent AAA title. So there are people out there who just buy all the big titles and play them. And
right.
I see this much more in Mortal Kombat than I do with any sort of Street Fighter, is the special moves, where you can even tag them, have them sitting on the screen. It's easy for players to learn special moves, right? I think it's, especially in Street Fighter with combos are much easier in Mortal Kombat. And they give you specific ones that you can learn. And so players will learn a special move and kind of just spam a special move because that's how they think the game is played. And that's, You know, if they just want to do an ice ball over and over and over again, and it's annoying and it's obnoxious, but if you want to be good at the game, then you're going to have to learn to get around those things. I think the spammers, they don't really create a bad environment. They just create a frustrating environment, because if I have to crouch and walk towards you and take 5-minute matches, like, this is not what I wanted to do, right? It sucks to get the time drawn out on you.
Steve's taking her mind is
Lance is cut out really bad.
Yep, Lance's internet just went away. So, moving on the spamming discussion, though, I think it is what it is. Like, if you can't deal with it, that's on you, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mandy, have you ever played a game where people just spam the same moves over and over and over on you?
Oh yeah, that's like, I don't know, my like Smash Brothers. That's kind of a lame one to like bring up, but like that's whenever I would play with one of my friends, that's all that they would do, and they would be freaking. Oh my gosh, and I'm blanking on the character's name. Firefox, is that the guy's name? Star Fox. Fox.
Oh, Fox, just yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, destroyed me every time, and I could never figure out why. Like, it's not even like an awesome character necessarily or anything, but I would always get destroyed because the same freaking moves every time, and it doesn't make it fun for me. Like, and it's the same problem I have when people camp out playing like Call of Duty. I don't like that. I don't think it's skilled. I don't think it's like, I don't know, not that gaming has to have skill necessarily, but it just takes away the fun for me. So I tend to not play those games as much.
I love campers in shooter games. Like, if you're always going to go to the same spot and I can find out where you are, sure, you're going to get me a few times when I come down the hallway. But now that I know you're always going to be there, eat a grenade. Like,
oh man.
Yeah, but for me, if I spawn in and I die within 10 seconds of where I spawn in, that just pisses me off.
Oh yeah,
like,
me too.
Oh, it makes me want to murder someone, and I can't find them, so I just keep dying. Like,
when you pop them with a grenade because you know where they are, though, that feeling of justification.
super
is so good. So
You're
good.
yeah.
I mean, Battlefield is. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
It's just like when you know there's people who they learn their spots that they're comfortable with, and you can just camp out their camping spot. You're like, oh, they're going to come back this way. But to what Mandy said is like, I've Halo 3. I ended up playing some people who were way, way, way better than me, and they knew the spawn points. So it's like, I spawn, be dead, spawn, be dead, because they knew the spawn points and the patterns, and that's like, oh, good, my controller's going to go through the wall. Great, this is right. And that's, I mean, that's the opposite of the spammers. That's people who are on such a high level of, it's like, I don't even stand a chance. That this is no fun.
Yeah. On Battlefield, the new one, Hardline, there's been some really, really bad spawn points. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw spawn points that were this bad. And that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is Visceral's first time in a shooter, right? Well, I mean, a first-person shooter, I should say. Man, I will say that there's been a lot of camping, but there is something satisfying about coming up to some asshole fucking sniper that's just sitting there, and I come up. I use this. It's like an axe to break down walls, and it's super fucking slow. But I like basically slow motion go up to him and just whack him in the back. It's amazing.
I do that with the sledgehammer. It's super slow, but it's just so satisfying to get.
Yeah, you're like, fuck you, and you're camping. I love sniping in that game because I feel like it's probably one of the more realistic sniping games you can do, like a Battlefield game, because you don't have people that are an assault class canning you from halfway across the level. If you're not sniping, that's not going to happen. But then you have the other thing, like we were just talking about, where people just sit on a spawn point, and man, that's so much fun.
What's the opposite terminology of hit scan? You guys know that term, hit scan?
Mm-mm.
Like, so, like sniping in Destiny is hit scan, right? The bullet doesn't actually travel anywhere.
Scan.
Hit scan.
Oh, hit
HIT.
Okay.
So, like, if you're looking at them and you shoot them, you don't have to accommodate for where they're going to be stepping. As long as your reticle is on top of them when you shoot, it hits them.
Yeah.
Where in like Battlefield, you have to
like
account
bullet
for the
drop, and
you have to
stuff
account
like
for the bullet traveling and where they're going to be by the time the bullet lands there. I
Yeah.
just don't know what that terminology is in gaming, but
We'll call it real bullets.
real bullets. hit scan is what I learned it as.
The IRLs.
Side note, one of my buddies went through the Army, or was it the Navy, and he told me in basic training there was a kid that said that if you hold, and he seriously thought this was true, that if you hold the gun sideways, he was probably a little thuggy, that the bullet would travel forever. Like
What?
it wouldn't stop. Like
It would
you
go around the
get
earth.
any bullet drop.
Because
Just
it would
fly around and hit the back of the gun.
Well, it's not going to go down because the bottom of the gun is pointing left. See?
Clearly. Clearly.
So if you hold the gun like this, bro, it won't go down. Yeah.
I
Some
saw it on
people.
MythBusters, man. They
Thug
And
life.
then when he got done with basic training, he went back to his trailer and.
I heard also if you
did
just
he
take
try
the-
that movie where you like try and curve the bullets
Yeah.
too?
I was
That's
gonna say if
exactly
the
what I was
wanted-
thinking about.
Yeah,
That's
if
what
you
it's
just,
called.
if you whip the gun real hard when you shoot it, it can actually go around corners. It's a
It can
thing.
like fly around people too. Like you can really dodge targets. You didn't know that?
Oh man! All right, so I
Fucking
think
magnets. How do they work?
fucking magnets.
No one
Um,
knows.
Private Juggalo.
Private Juggalo, give me 50.
Whoop whoop, sir.
All right, what's next?
Excuse me.
Oh,
What did you say? I
man.
said whoop whoop, sir.
Speaking of juggalos, I also want to comment on the fact another thing that the internet is exploding about, which is fucking annoying because my Twitter feed and
We're
everything
not
else
talking
is.
about it. Don't even bring it. Just move
Yes,
on. Just move on. No,
Suicide
we're not a movie
Squad.
podcast.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna mute you.
No, okay, all right, we're gonna move on. Mandy, tell me
Yeah.
about the new Fable game. Because Tom's a butthole.
Okay. So I had a beta key for it, and I haven't actually ever played beta before of anything, so I was really excited for it. I've only ever played Fable 3, and I loved that game. I played it like twice through. And so I was really excited for it. The game plays like the I don't know, drawing of the game, if you will. The animation of it is really pretty. It's very similar to the other games. And it has like, you know how the guy's voice in the intro to Fable, there's like a man's voice as he's talking through like the storyline of it. It's the same voice as as the loading screen happens for the gameplay. So they have the consistency that I really like in video games, like with similar, like storylines. The problem with their beta was it took forever to load, and it only had one level to play. And I don't know if it's because I never got through to the very end of that level, and so I never like progressed to get to another like level of it, or if it was the only one to play. I was on a chat with a couple other people that were playing with me, and they were saying the same kind of thing, that they never got to the end of it. So none of us really knew if there was more to it. The reason you never got to the end of it is because you're paired up on a team with different people, and so you first start out and you choose like a character. So you have you can either be the villain, and the villain I didn't like very much, because as a villain you see an overview of the whole map, and you select different like areas of bad little creatures to go and attack the heroes. And I'm not the type to do like the World of Warcraft game style where you do like you send little armies to do whatever. I freaking hate those games. So for me it was like my own hell for 10 minutes while I was getting through this stupid level, because I kept on dying. Like every single bad guy that I sent off did like 0 damage. I had no idea what the controls were. And like if you press start or like the little the back button, I'm on Xbox, it didn't have like it didn't have any control panel like anywhere to see at all. And so I had no idea what buttons I was pushing did anything. So I'm just sitting there mashing buttons. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I hope I'm actually making a difference. And I didn't, so I hated that. But then if you do a heroes, it had like 7 or 8 different characters you could choose from. And I chose, my favorite were 3 of them. There was one that was called Winter. She's a girl that like has, as you could probably guess, like wintry powers.
Oh.
So you can like freeze, I know, novel, right? So you can like freeze your enemies, and you can like even break them up, like they'll like shatter, kind of like a little bit of BioShock aspect in that regard. Not nearly as cool as BioShock. But another one was Evian, or Avian, I don't know how to pronounce it. She's another chick with a big sword. She was super weak, though. I died like so many times with her, and I could not figure out why, but I think it's because she has a really big sword, and so it makes you kind of vulnerable when you're like fighting and stuff. She swings around like crazy, and she just got destroyed. And she's also a girl character, so they always kind of suck. But anyway, then my favorite was this character named Malice, and he's basically like an empty armor, like a suit of armor. And you like he doesn't have a body, but it's really cool. He has when you kill a bad guy, you have a little button A that you can press, and like it just pops up, and you can have 3 little ghost people. So if you kill 3 bad guys, you can have up to 3 little ghosts fight with you, and they actually do damage with you. And so I loved him because he was actually really tough. He was kind of slow, but he was really tough. And having those 3 little guys, they didn't do a ton of damage on the bad guys, but it was nice to have like a little bit of extra fighting power. But anyway, you basically go through into this level, and it's called Swollen Veg Festival, and I was laughing hysterically hard like a child at the name of it because I have a dirty mind. But you go through, and like you have these different stages and these different loading points, and the fighting it was kind of glitchy. It was really pretty, like the animation was very pretty, as Fable typically is, but it was a little just glitchy, and I'm hoping that they fix that for the actual gameplay. But the frustrating thing is, because it was so glitchy, people would get knocked out of the game a lot or kicked out. And so you'd start out your game with 5 of you or whatever to play. And by the end of it, you'd only have 3 still playing. And the thing that sucked is you only have 3 health bottles or whatever to rejuvenate you, potions. And the sucky thing is, if you were a character like the Avian or Winter, who were kind of less hardcore, you'd die really easily, and so you'd use up your life things before you even got to the end of the game or the end of the level. And so if you did that and you fully died like your last time, you either had to be revived by someone immediately, and you'd pop back up. You have 10 seconds for them to revive you, and you'd pop up right where you died, or you'd fully die and you have a tombstone, and you die past a point that they have to kill all the bad guys in the area before they can come to you and save you. And people are retarded.
Could revive you, or would I have to be a healer class?
No, it could be anybody. Yeah, anybody could revive you. But I was so.
But you're playing on Xbox, so really people don't know what teamwork are.
Yeah, people are freaking dicks. And seriously, I'd die and I'd shout into my microphone because you can hear each other talking and stuff. I'm like, hey, someone come get me. I'm right next to you. And they just ignore you. And you're like, if you don't come and help me, you will die, because you can see, if you press the pause button, you can see how many potions of health they have left, and you can also see their life trickling down. And I'm like, you don't have any more health potions, revive me and then we'll live, we can make it to the end. And they just ignore you, and so it was super frustrating. So I never got to the very end of it, and I didn't play a lot of the beta because it was a lot repetitive, and I got more, I think, frustrated with my co-teammates, if you will, than the actual level. But I'm curious to see what the actual single player options are versus the multiplayer. And maybe I'm retarded. Is there a single player? Do you guys know, or is it only multiplayer?
It lists single player as well on the Wikipedia entry.
Okay.
Single player and co-op.
Let's hope.
I don't know. I signed up for a beta on my wife's email, 2 of my accounts, and I didn't get in. So I had 3 pulls in there. And I was like, sweet, Mandy got one, maybe I'll get one. We can play together.
Did you do a little description of what you want about it, or who you are, kind of a thing, when you're doing your application for it?
No, it's just what console do you want it on? I was like, PC or Xbox. I'm like, cool. We'll let you know if you get in. I was like, okay.
Oh, there was a little tiny spot at the very end of it that said any extra information or anything extra, and I just wrote that I'm a huge Fable lover, blah blah blah. I played all these. I just fluffed it. I was like, I want to play it. You totally should have done that, man.
You brown-nosed.
Of course I did.
Going the extra mile for the beta. But I think...
When does that game come out?
The only data I can see is 2015.
Yeah, that's all I see too.
Yeah, I don't know anything other than this year's time.
So maybe they'll do a round 2. And
yeah, this is their second weekend of their second time of doing it. So the next time if they do have another one, the next time they do, I'll stream it, I'll Twitch it. I didn't do it this time because it was kind of weird. It said at the top of it that you were still under an NDA contract, and I was like, I didn't realize that I signed a non-disclosure. I don't think I did. So
yeah, it's a good thing you didn't stream then.
Yeah. So
then the FBI would come knocking. They'd be like, whoa. Don't do the thing.
So and I think if they're stress testing the servers, it'll be like that, right? They'll have drops, they'll have crashes, but the good news is they're doing it early so that they'll have it ready, which I'm excited, which will be good.
Yeah, and the game was really pretty. And I think And I think that's a big thing for me is if I enjoy what I'm looking at. And I did. It was really like, and I think that if I actually am playing it online with people that I know and that don't suck at it, that will actually revive me when I die, that I'll enjoy it more.
I can't guarantee any of us will be good, but we'll revive you when you die.
Hey, that's fine. I can't guarantee either, but I'm good. But
so if they come out with another weekend beta, you'll do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
But based off what you play, you wouldn't buy it.
Based off what I play, I wouldn't buy a $60 game, but I would wait till it came to like 40. So I would do that, but not 60. Not off of what I played.
Good. Has anyone here played? Because everything is saying, like Neverwinter is free to play on Xbox,
which I downloaded and played for like 20 minutes.
And Fable is saying it's going to be free to play as well.
Oh, which Fable?
Then,
do you know?
Legends.
I assume the new one.
Yeah, Legends is supposed to be free to play.
Oh, really?
So kind of like Neverwinter, where it's free to play, but there's lots of opportunities for you to buy stuff, buy characters, buy weapons. I don't know.
Extra if you look, seriously, if you look on Wikipedia's, because I was trying to remember the name of the one chick that I was playing at. If you look on Wikipedia, it only lists 4 heroes, and it makes me wonder if the other ones are like a DLC to buy, because the 4 that they list are all crap ones. Like, seriously crap. And I hated all of them. And Malice was the only one that I was like, oh, I'm actually killing people. And, like, my teammates, it's interesting, they pair you up with you're all different classes. And all of my teammates would, like, I would be the leader. Like, I'd go through and they would, like, all wait for me to kill everybody. And then they'd come through and I'm like, you bastards, just freaking fight with me. You'll actually last. Like,
who's the short dude with the green hat?
What was that?
Who's the short dude with the green hat?
He's a Rook, I think. He looks like a pirate, right? Or not a pirate. He looks like, oh my gosh, what is his name? Robin Hood. Does he look like Robin Hood?
Johnny Depp.
There's one that looks like, I want to say he's Sterling. Yeah, he's the Prince Charming guy with I think that's him. So Rook was the crossbow guy, and his did not look like a crossbow. I did not play as Rook at all, or Ingot, because they looked retarded. But
so I'm looking at this Heroes of Albion.
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 There's like a Prince Charming dude, Winter chick, Gruff Knight, chick with big shield, green dude with long pointy nose, and bow and arrow dude.
The pointy nose guy. Oh, he's super creepy. He's
Rumpelstiltskin.
He steals health from people. He was really good.
Ooh.
He suctions life from people.
So like a warlock type class.
Necromancer, warlock, something.
Yeah,
technically, he would be a death knight if he had melee weapons, Lance.
Oh, there we go.
Nerd.
Nerd alert.
My level 70 warlock is not level capped, so...
All right.
I will say the bad guys were super, consistently easy to beat, except for when you had a giant troll come out of nowhere, and those were impossible. They would just bash you into a wall, and you couldn't move, and it was super frustrating.
That corner
Don't
game.
feed the trolls. Also, Lance lagged out again, so I'm going to take over moderator duties for a minute.
Internet is not dying. Lance.
That South Salt Lake internet's not taking care of him. I believe the next thing we wanted to talk about was the Kickstarter that tweeted at us today, if I remember right.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know, did anybody watch the trailer, review the thing, look at the dealie?
I looked at the dealie.
Okay. So, it's called Melancholy Republic. It's being made out of the UK. Their URL is really hard to say, but if you Google Kickstarter Melancholy Republic, it'll come right up. They are $2,000 away from hitting their goal. I believe their goal is... So yeah, £7,500. They're at $5,293. So roughly, I don't know what, $3,500 American.
Something like that.
To get it. But so it looks like a classic RPG, top-down view based on the trailer. Has a pretty solid soundtrack so far, and it's interesting because from a development team, it almost looks like they have more. They have more musicians than they do developers, or a very close amount. So pretty cool.
There were a few SoundCloud links. They were awesome.
Yeah, so you can listen to a couple of pieces on SoundCloud. They're great. The thing that makes this kind of unique is it is a very strong female lead, and the concept art for the female characters are wearing clothing, which is really
Interesting.
yeah. Like, I mean, they're not like trolls, but they're also not like your typical JRPG heroine, which is pretty interesting. Like, they're just women in armor with weapons and not a lot of cleavage. So
You mean
also-
I
there's
can't
also
make a
the-
furry with
The
little
old
clothes.
guard who looks like Christopher Walken.
yeah, there's Christopher Walken.
That guy. And then the rest were chicks.
Yeah.
One
And
chick
that's-
with a battle axe. And
Awesome.
But I mean, like, when I say it looks like a top-down classic RPG, like it straight up looks like the old 16-bit Super Nintendo RPGs that I have grown to love. And even, I mean, they're still making games like that on a lot of the handheld stuff and on some of the current consoles. But it looks like a lot of fun.
yeah, I really like the art style. All the sprites, all the characters look chibi-ish. You know, big anime eyes, big heads.
And I like the in the trailer. There's a scene where they kind of all walk up to this castle tower type thing, and they overlook like this long kind of drawn out 16-bit city. Looks great. I'm actually pretty stoked for it. I'm gonna do the math on how many euros or pounds I have to give them to buy a copy. But
What's
I
it called
think
again?
It's called Melancholy Republic.
Like Cloud Runner Studios.
Yep, it's already been greenlit on Steam, so Steam Greenlight's already thumbs up it, so it's got enough votes there. So now they're just trying to fund the development of it, but it looks really, really good. They've been featured in a lot of different blogs. Yeah, it just looks great. It looks like a lot of fun, and I mean, seriously, if you're looking for good stuff to fund, it's roughly $15 American, and you get a digital copy of the game on day one, and your name is thanked in the credits. So.
Do you know if it's gonna?
You can be famous.
PC probably, right?
Yeah, it's a PC build.
So on my iPad, I bought Secret of Mana,
Oh yeah.
and I want to fund a Kickstarter for some new RPG top-down game that I can play on mobile. That'd make me happy.
Yeah, that would be nice. I just bought
Just play XCOM.
XCOM on iPad is really good. I will agree with that. I just bought Legend of Mana for my Vita, but I feel like the Square Enix ports to mobile just aren't living up to what they should be right now.
How's Baldur's Gate, by the way?
Did you
I
get
didn't
Final
play it on
Fantasy
mobile.
Tactics?
I had a hard time on mobile with it.
Did you?
Yeah, like I loved that game on PC and I got it on mobile and I played like 10 minutes of it and just wasn't a fan
Are you
of
playing
how
on an iPad or on your Galaxy S4?
just my S4. So that could explain it too, but I just wasn't a fan of it.
Can you get Final Fantasy Tactics on mobile?
Probably. They're porting everything. The problem I have
Turn-based
is,
strategy. It's awesome.
Yeah, but I have the problem with Square Enix wanting to port a 15-year-old game onto a mobile device and charge like $20 for it.
Yeah.
But you
Sure, I'll
have
see.
Pokemon,
I'll
right?
see an HD version of Resident Evil 1 on here. It's not already on here.
See, I say that I don't want a 15-year-old port, but then I'd buy Pokemon. Like, if Red and Blue came out as a port, like professional port, they'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd play Pokemon on mobile. I think I'd have to use my Android controller to make that work out, but... Sweet.
Pokemon?
Pokemon.
I kind of want a Tamagotchi app.
Oh my gosh, so
they
do
have
I.
that. It exists.
Do they really?
Which
That's
uh,
totally a thing.
which
It's
Final
on
Fantasy?
Tactics.
I don't see it.
You know what one is a really good Final Fantasy mobile game is Record Keeper. Final Fantasy Record Keeper is really freaking addicting and really good. Just a side note.
Oh, I have a quick side note too before you
Do
get
it.
back on track.
Do it.
Magica 2.
Magic 2.
Oh, yeah.
May 26th.
Yeah, we're there.
20
So-
days.
So what do we have coming out this month that we're stoked for? We've got Witcher 3 in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Tamagotchi app. So you told you it's a thing.
You know what we could do for since we're supposed to have this beer and cabin thing going on next month, we could see if Magica could allow us to land.
Magic: A Drunken Landing.
Yeah.
You know what else comes out on May 26th, the same day as Magic 2? Ultra Street Fighter 4's PS4 version.
Isn't that the only version?
It will be the only version. No, not 5. Ultra. So they're porting Ultra Street Fighter 4 to PS4 from Xbox 360 and PC. And that will be the only version played at EVO 2014 or 2015.
I'm gonna play
So-
Dan and just sweep the leg on
Sounds
you.
like
Do it.
Nash.
Do
It
it.
sounds like National Take a Nap Day for me.
Yeah, except you're playing Magicka 2 with us, son.
Yeah, we're gonna get drunk on shots, and we're gonna play Magicka 2.
I love that hat. Freaking love
It's
that hat.
it's ridiculous.
Mandy, you can't see, but he has a giant green hat on that says "Who's buying shots?"
Oh, I'm
So,
jealous.
and he's been
I'm-
wearing it at work. He's been
Yeah.
wearing it everywhere.
I'm
That's a pretty rad
32 and
hat.
I'm acting like I'm 22 again.
That's okay. There's totally nothing wrong with that.
All right.
well,
Well,
the game that I'm excited for that pretty much nobody else is Lego Jurassic Park.
oh, that's right.
Because I'm a child of the 90s.
Actually, I
Freaking
am.
Love it. You are?
When does that come out?
Yeah.
June
Well,
4th.
I mean, I think
So I'm not necessarily
So,
unexcited
I
about the Jurassic Park
the thing that
I'm
got
just
me into
tired
the
of
Lego games is having it is kids. Is kids. Having Hank play those games.
So
I
having
don't
a
know if
kid
I'm
means
just-
you can play the same game over and over and over again with different sprites.
That is literally exactly what my husband says. He's like, oh, so you can pay $60 to play a game where you just break things up, but it's a different character, and you
But,
just mash buttons. I'm like,
how
yeah.
much time did you play? How much time did you spend in Lego Marvel?
I didn't finish it. I got
Oh, I
3
didn't play
quarters the way
that
through.
Out of
I
all,
played all of them, like the Harry Potter one to the end. I played the Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings one to the end, like the Pirates of the Caribbean to the end. Like I'm super OCD about getting all the characters. I'm kind of ridiculous.
That'd be
So-
pretty hard.
there's enough going on in the Marvel game that I think at launch it was probably one of the only games that was worth $60. So I mean, I felt like it at launch for
Question.
the one.
In Lego Jurassic Park, do you get to ride a Lego motorcycle with an army of Lego
Oh my gosh.
Velociraptors?
I seriously hope so. Although I don't want to necessarily play it until I see Jurassic World, which I am dying to see. P.S.
It'll
Holy
be
hell!
amazing. So
Oh,
good.
I'm
so
really excited for everything else but superhero movies this summer.
Yeah, the Superman versus Batman looks awful, just in my opinion.
I'm
But-
actually more excited about that than I am Ant-Man.
Really? Oh, I'd
What?
rather see Ant-Man like
You
10
have
times
Paul
over.
Rudd.
Yeah,
He's
Ant-Man's
gonna be hilarious.
So good.
I love him.
I
Yeah.
love Paul Rudd.
Yellow Jacket looks fucking baller.
Lance, how does it feel to be wrong?
Wah wah.
All right, Lance.
Feels like that.
He's frozen again.
Is it the end of the show? Take us
Very
home.
convenient.
He's not.
Well, we're going to end the show now. And
Everyone
I'll talk
shits on Lance's opinion. He's like, show's over.
Fuck it, I'm out.
Screw you guys. Home.
Queen
All right.
now.
Well, okay. So wrapping up the show, I am at Chuck Sweat on Twitter. You can find me there. You can harass me there. I get trolled a lot. So feel free to troll me. Keep in mind, though, that if I find out who you are, I'm a very big person, and I might murder you. So,
Whoa.
that got
Sure.
dark real
That
quick.
got real.
Just straight up threats.
Troll me at your own fucking risk.
yeah.
Which is
There's no
basically what I'm saying.
anonymity on the internet,
Bring it on.
ladies and gentlemen. Tom is at Thomas Winkley. Steve is at Steve Gives. Arthur Carter is at the Diplomat with underscores in between. Mandy is Mandy underscore on Twit. There's also underscores in between the
And
stuff.
I don't know if Mandy twits often, but you know,
I don't twit very much.
If
send
ever.
her a note, see what happens.
I do Instagram.
She
More
does
so.
Instagram.
She does Instagram.
We
So-
all Insta.
Well, we're really happy that you watch our show. And if you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to email. Is it at info or is
It's
it?
feedback at entertainmentisdead.com.
I mean, so far all
also-
I've got is trolls.
Yeah, you can. Have we had trolls? I haven't seen anything come through yet.
Oh, I'm about to email you a trolley email.
Arthur's on it.
It's a
He's
dick.
gonna send us a dick
Also,
pic.
if you're hearing us on iTunes, rate and review, please. If you're hearing us on Stitcher, I think there's like a thumbs up button or some shit.
Oh.
Maybe it's
And
a heart.
also check out
Maybe
this
it's a
really,
star.
really, really good podcast that I like to listen to. These old saddled bastards on Grumble Mountain. I love
Aw.
them. So,
Thanks, buddy.
hmm
I like coming on your guys' podcast and spreading the sad, angry bastardness. So appreciate you. Back at you.
Mandy, we're glad you're back.
Well,
and my internet. No, I'm fading away. Ah! I'm dying.
I'm just turning him off. I'm sorry for this, guys. I'm just muting everyone.